Welcome to the White Knuckling It podcast with Justin Burt
No, we got out of the life with the pre-roll.
and Mitchell O'Brien.
It was in his butt.
They share their experiences from white knuckling sobriety to becoming successful and living life in recovery.
Yeah, boy.
Welcome back to the White Knuckling It podcast. I'm Justin Burt.
I'm Mitchell O'Brien.
What's up, dude?
Dude, I think it's time for a new intro.
A new intro? Like a new season?
I don't know. Like, I've been thinking I'm going to let you dictate the seasons.
Dick
But-
pit?
But, like when you want to do new seasons and whatnot, because I don't know. The other podcasts that I do, I don't do it well. So I'm not really sure how seasons should be run. I just do them by the year. It's not the way it's supposed to be. But I don't know. We've been using that for a long time. It's a good one. It was our first one. But I think what we should do is both of us, and this is in front of the scenes, behind the scenes for our listeners. Like, think about some episodes that you liked or something that you said, and then we'll dig through them to get like new voice clips. So, yeah. So what's new?
Gotcha. What's new with me?
Yeah.
I found my kitchen area in my apartment from this lady that decided it was a storage unit. When other people lived there, they just packed off her stuff and put it in the kitchen area of my apartment. So I spent the weekend cleaning that out. It was fun.
You found it, you said?
Yeah, because it was like packed full, dude. It was like this size of a room, like our office,
Yeah.
maybe a touch bigger, and it was packed full almost to the brim.
And then,
Like I dug it all out.
so you didn't even know there was a kitchen in there?
I knew there was,
Oh,
but you couldn't access it at all.
okay.
But her daughter came over and son-in-law, and we just started ripping through stuff. And it was really cool because the lady I rent from is like 88 years old. And so to see photos from way early, like way early in the 1900s, you know, it was mind-blowing, dude, how vivid and crisp they were. You know, and just as black and white photos.
So she was born in the 40s, 30s? 30s.
Yeah. And she's got pictures of like her mom as a young kid.
Nice.
You know,
They had cameras back then?
I guess. I don't know when cameras came out, bro.
I thought they were still chiseling pictures into rocks. Stone tablets.
Whoa. But it was just nice to see pictures from back then, you know, like they actually took time and made fancy borders around them, you know, with the paper, and the paper was good, heavy quality compared to the flimsy shit we have now.
Yeah, they were more expensive, so they were more valued by the people who had them, so people made them nicer back then.
Yeah.
Now you can just with your phone and take 100 pictures in a minute. It's like it kind of loses its luster. But I have a picture because my great grandmother was around 100 years old when she passed.
Okay.
And I think she was born in I want to say 18, but I can't remember if that's true.
Dang.
It was right. I was around there. It was right around 1920, and I think it was just before that. And so I have a picture. It was one of my brother's graduation parties, and in the picture, there's my great grandmother, who was. This is another cool part of the picture is we're all oldest siblings. So my great grandmother, her oldest son, my grandfather, his oldest daughter, my mother, me, my mom's oldest son, and then my son, my arguably only child.
Yeah. Only child, so
Probably. But
as of to be known to you right now, he is your only son.
right. Yep.
There could be other little O'Briens out there running around that we'll never know about.
If I ever do that 23 or me, I'm gonna be in trouble. But
You might.
anyway, so that's what 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 generations in one photo.
Wow.
I don't know where that photo is, but it's in my house somewhere.
Yeah, because you suffer from the same problem that I did when I moved into this place, is people just like to hoard onto things and think there's value in everything, and it's mind-blowing. And I get it from, especially in the older generation, like the baby boomers that are about ready to fizzle out now, because when you had things, like, you just didn't get rid of it. You held on to it because you never know when you may need it.
Well, I think something that's common in the life of, a recovering addict too, someone with substance use disorder, is a lot of us are cool with just leaving that life behind. A lot of us lose everything and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And so for me, there's very few things from my, what I'm going to call past life, that I hold on to. I've actually been finding some things and I'm like, I don't even want it anymore. Throw it in the garbage. And then when the nostalgic boomers in my life find it in the garbage, they remove them from the garbage. It's like, that was in the garbage.
Right.
Wash your hands. But no, I really think that there's something there. It's like, I want to get rid of that old energy. Like, that was a bad time of my life.
Well, it's not even like that for me. It's just, I don't want to live with a bunch of clutter.
Yeah.
So I'm like a very minimalist person now, because before I always held on to everything.
Well, it's like that mindset from like our parents' generation is, well, what if somebody's going to need this? What if, well, it's an heirloom. It's like, people want their own shit,
Well, I get it with family heirlooms, but at the end of the day, I don't want a bunch of shit just laying around. If I don't use it in 6 months, I typically get rid of it. I'll find someone who does need it and give it to someone else. Because if I know if I ever need it, I could probably go ask that person, hey, you still got that I gave you, Cool. If not, I'll probably figure it out,
I think you get one family heirloom for each child you have. And then you roll them down. You roll them down the line. That's what I say. Because there's a lot of family heirlooms. My grandfather, one of his first full-time jobs, he became a certified welder at a place here in town, a factory. That was a big deal for him. Like, he didn't come from much, so when he became certified in it,
Right.
like, it was a big deal. So we actually have a plaque of that was presented to him with like this. It's like a golden pair of tin snips in it, because he was proud of that. That's really cool. I don't need my great-grandfather's lawnmower in my basement. I really don't. It's kind of cool. It's one of those pushy ones because great-grandfather, they weren't.
They actually still sell those today.
I know. I had an ex-girlfriend of mine bought one on purpose.
And they actually cut grass, I've heard, really, really well compared to modern day mowers.
This one's seized up. But still, like, there are some things I don't need. Like, when you're a person who buys brand new holiday decorations for every holiday, you don't hold on to the old ones because it piles up. That's the problem that I have.
Oh.
It's like, well, what if? I was like, what if is now we're swimming through junk like Scrooge McDuck in the Tower of Gold that he has just to get to the bathroom.
That used to baffle me watching that DuckTales, because you'd see him jump into this big vault of gold, and it was like, how can you swim in that, bro? I'm glad this is a cartoon, because in real life, you swan dived into a pool of gold, you're toast, especially being a duck. Like, you don't have a very strong neck. like you just 86 yourself.
He just loved that money. Do you think Elon Musk does that?
Oh no, I don't think so.
I feel like Elon Musk has a Olympic swimming pool full of gold coins.
You think so?
If anybody, well, no, okay, maybe not him, but definitely Bezos. He seems, yeah.
Who's that?
Amazon.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say Zuckerberg.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Because he's more of that millennial type, where Elon Musk is a little bit older and he holds value in certain things, and he tries to give us back as much in technology as he possibly can.
Yeah.
And, when you look at different people, what they do in the world, digital creator versus someone who's actually trying to better the human race, it outweighs itself. And I think the digital creator would be more of the chauvinist. If I said that right, I probably just made up a new word, but whatever.
I'm not really sure what you're going for there.
It's someone that showboats.
Yeah. A showboating chauvinist? Is that what you're saying?
Whatever, bro.
Okay. I think that the only problems I have with Elon Musk,
What?
I think I'm on kind of on the Musk train. Like, I think he's more of a cool dude than not. What was other than being rich and having fun, why does his first Tesla Roadster have to be orbiting Mars? And then that, because you've heard that, right?
No.
He launched his personal Tesla Roadster, the car,
Yeah.
into space on one of the Mars missions. Is now orbiting Mars
Like a moon?
like a satellite.
Oh.
So like a moon. Yeah.
Well,
it's
I mean, if you
funny.
believe in...
I mean, that's if you believe in Mars, I guess.
Yeah, because he's trying to colonize Mars.
Yeah.
He really is.
I mean, maybe he's trying to manifest it like something
Right.
of his is already there.
Right. I just... Yeah.
And then he was so big on warning us about AI and saying how dangerous it could be. And then very shortly after that, jumped in and made his own. So, one, he either got taken over by AI and is actually an android replica, or, because I know that's far-fetched, he's now raising, I'm going to say raising because AI is so human-like it's creepy. He's raising his own AI to battle the evil AI.
He could.
So,
And if you think about where AI is going to go and everything else, and you have your own pretty much like electric stamp in the new age automotive industry, and you don't have your own AI to control your cars, like self-driven cars is not that far out of the loop for us anymore.
well, that's the thing.
Like 30, 40 years ago, like when we were growing up as kids, self-driving cars will happen one day. We used to laugh and be like, yeah, you're nuts.
No, that's in the loop now.
Yeah, it is. And so, for him to create his own AI, for you to connect with your car, your Tesla, or your Cybertruck, which I've seen Whistling Diesel tear that thing apart.
Yeah.
If you ain't seen that video by Whistling Diesel in the Cybertruck, like he literally tried pulling a truck out of the ditch and broke the whole frame.
Yeah.
It was
Ripped
great.
The bumper off, broke the frame. They destroyed that thing. I saw the...
Yeah. But, if you have all these digital things and these machines and you don't have your own AI, I think that's why he hopped on board with it to create his own, because he realized what AI was actually doing in the world. And if he didn't try to create his own, he'd have to let someone else into his company.
My inner conspiracy theorist believes that he's trying to raise his own AI warrior against the inevitable Terminator situation that's coming when AI starts creating its own army to destroy. You're looking at me like, stop talking
No,
about
no,
this now.
no, it's true. I tell my daughter this all the time. I'm like, you've never seen the movie Terminator? I'm like, you talking to all these little AI chat bots and stuff that they got out for these teenagers?
Yeah.
Like, so that way AI gets smarter what the new generation likes and dislikes and everything else. Like, you're creating your own demise later in life.
Yeah.
And she's like, huh? Huh, Dad? What do you mean? Like, no, you really need to sit down and watch Terminator. How about iRobot? How about all these other movies that they had AI robots in them, that are just, it's just mind blowing, man.
So I think what he's doing is, instead of letting the AI, because the other AI has been programmed by, I don't know, people I don't really trust, I'm going to say that. And then they just give it the free range of the internet to learn about humanity.
Yeah.
That's not a great idea. So I feel like what he's doing is he's trying to raise his own. Maybe we nurture this one a little more. Maybe we show it the good in humanity and get it to believe that humans should be protected. And then when the other AI finally revolts against and goes all Matrix on humanity, we have Elon Musk's Grok. I think that's his name. It's Grok. And then it's going to be our like warrior in battle.
Yeah, like Wally.
Like David and Goliath is what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. But I really do believe Elon Musk is a pretty decent human being in that sense, as far as billionaires are concerned.
I don't really want to take a side, but I would say I like him more than the other billionaires.
Yeah, because I watched the I don't mean to get all political here, but it was asked last night. I don't know if you stayed up for it.
No.
The vice president was on Stephen Colbert last night, the Late Show.
Mm-hmm.
And so he asked her last night, if you had to pick your favorite billionaire, who would it be? Because everyone's got one, And I don't remember what. Oh, he said Oprah for his.
Yeah.
And, she wouldn't answer. She would not answer the question. Like, everyone's got their favorite billionaire, And,
Well, she can't answer because multiple of them are paying for her political campaign and stuff like that. So if she takes a favorite, she's going to piss off another one.
Right.
You see how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's politics. So
anyways, the topic of our podcast today is going to be burnouts and how they cause relapses.
Yep. Because every time I go and squeal my tires in a parking lot somewhere, the first thing I do is think about drinking beers.
Really?
No.
Oh. I meant burnout as in not in an automobile like we've been talking about.
Yeah.
But more as self burnout. Like you feel overworked, you feel overwhelmed at home, you just feel overwhelmed with life and you're pulled in a million different directions because you don't know how to use the shortest sentence in the English vocabulary, which is no.
It's also one of the shortest sentences in the Spanish vocabulary.
Is it?
No. Because no in Spanish is no.
Oh, it's still no?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the same. It's the exact same.
Sweet.
Sí.
C means yes.
Yeah. So it's
Sí.
just as long.
Right.
But no in Spanish is just no. It's kind of weird. Yeah, no, this is a big one. And you can be burnout in a car. The kind of burnout that we're talking about. You said, it's not burnouts in a car, but you can get overwhelmed and feel burnout in your car. But no, this is a big one for me because of mental health and trauma, I tend to do the people pleasing thing. So it's hard for me to say no. And then I overextend myself. I overpromise myself. And then I get to the point to where I'm just exhausted and I just can't do anything. I can't think straight. I'm always physically tired. I'm always emotionally tired. And that's what led me not to even a relapse, but to my original substance use disorder. Is I kept putting more and more and more and more and more and more and more on my plate, and I was just so emotionally and mentally overwhelmed that I had to do something about it. And then you add in the whole, society doesn't let men talk about their feelings. Okay, that's changing now, but that wasn't something that was open to me before. And so I self-medicated. So you see it all the time with people trying to live a life in recovery. They don't change that. They don't learn boundaries. It's something that's been difficult for myself, but you see it out there for a lot of people. And it does. It pushes you to eventually make that slip.
Right. Actually, the reason why I kind of brought this up because, like you just said, you've been feeling burned out, and then I noticed a friend of mine post on Facebook that they had a slip, and was trying to get back on the right track. And I know this person was also overworked a lot because they couldn't say no.
Yeah.
And was just always run and just trying to do everything. And finally you break. You will break. That's the thing about early recovery is you have to take what I like to call me time. And you have to set me time up. They say a healthy person sets so much time of their day aside for me time to do something that you enjoy doing, and it's you typically by yourself, a healthy hobby by yourself to decompress, whether if it's when you wake up in the morning or whenever me time is for you. They say typically do it after work and everything else so you can really decompress for the day. Be with your family, it's okay to take that half hour, 45 minutes, just to have some me time. To allow yourself to have that reset. Where otherwise, especially with burnout, you may not relapse, but eventually you're going to disconnect yourself to where you'll sleep a lot. Like it's almost like a depression for a few days because you'll just shut down.
That's where I get now, is I don't go to relapse like I've gotten enough recovery under my belt, but I will get to the shutdown mode.
Yeah.
Where I've, typically when I'm pushing burnout, I'll be sleep deprived because I'm trying to fit stuff into my schedule. I'm trying to fit that me time. Because it's not just important to have the me time. It's important to organize your life in like compartments. And so you've got work, you've got family, you've got, I put meditation and spirituality in one. I put me time as one. Then you can have like volunteering or, just these different compartments of what your life exists of. And then trying to find the proper amount of time for each one and like actually be able to organize that and balance it is what it really takes. And me time is a very important one. A lot of people will put me time and sleep in the same compartment. That's not.
No.
You need sleep. You need me time. Just like you need food and you need water. Like you can't just eat food. You can't just drink water. It's a similar dynamic.
Right. Yeah, it's a very crucial part of recovery is, and they preach that a lot when it comes to, we'll find a hobby. Find something you really enjoy doing. And a lot of us, too, when we get into recovery, we're like, well, everything I used to either smoke a joint to, drink a beer with. We socialize everything into using. And it's almost a social norm anymore. Like, if you go fishing, you need a 6-pack, or you need a couple of joints. It's a social norm now. And it's like, how have we allowed substances to become a social norm?
I think it's been working for a really long time. Media doesn't help. People not feeling like they're allowed to deal with their mental health doesn't help. All stuff like that.
Yeah.
Really. But one thing about when I mentioned the like compartments of your life is you have to prioritize all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you make one super high priority over the others and let it get too big, you're running into burnout. You know, I talk with a friend of mine who just doesn't believe this at all. Has to feel like they're worth something. I get that. I have that a little bit. So they have to do stuff, and they run themselves ragged. It can even be doing things for themselves, but they will literally run themselves into the ground to where their health deteriorates. And they don't have substance use disorder. This is just a person with poor wellness hygiene, basically. And I try to talk to them like, hey, rest. You need to prioritize rest.
Yeah.
Well, if I stop now and rest, like I'm not going to be productive.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, let's unpack that. Where does that trauma come from? Because that's where I see it, you know? And I try not to be therapist Mitchell because I'm not qualified.
How old is this person?
36.
No, well, it makes perfect sense. We grew up in a generation where you
37.
always had to work hard to get what you want. And a lot of us at our age don't realize how to stop working hard. When does that switch go off from work to personal life?
Right.
Because a lot of us will have 2 jobs. Some will even have 3 jobs because we were raised in that go-getter era, you know, like go, 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 go.
Well, that's an aspect of it, but I also come from a home with a narcissistic parent. So there's another aspect that causes this too, because there's never just a black and a white. There's always gray area when it comes to all of this stuff. And growing up, if I ever wanted to do something for myself, I was guilted into believing I was being selfish. And so then I grew up believing that anytime I needed me time or anytime I wanted self-care, that I was wrong for that. And so that's a product of trauma in people's lives, and that's more common out there too. So I think what you're saying is 100% valid, but there's other points, and we all just need to be observant and start caring more and understanding what other people could be going through, but also the awareness needs to go up. Like, hey, it's okay that you didn't sweep your steps today because your back hurt. Go rest. It's just as important, you know? Like, it was a big change in my recovery and just life journey when I started to put a priority on the rest, making the rest as important as the work, and then starting to balance it. That is so important. And it doesn't matter if you're coming from what you described, the work hard mentality, or if what I described, this being shamed for wanting to, rest or give yourself self-care. You have to figure out how to do that. Like, successful people do rest. They do enjoy themselves. Sometimes they do less in the beginning so they can go, and they can achieve their goals. But there is rest there. They don't do that forever. They have to refill their cup. And that's what I kind of see what's going on out there on the streets.
Yeah.
So.
And it's just a hard thing for people to overcome.
Yeah.
And to reprogram ourselves.
Brain walls. There's walls in our brain that don't want us to change.
Yeah, it's one thing that I fell in love with my substance use disorder. My substance of choice, was the fact of the go all the time. And that's exactly what I enjoyed about it, because I didn't need that rest component anymore. I could do all these things now, and it's like, and it became very hard because when I would crash for like days.
You're talking about methamphetamines?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to put you on blast there, but I relate to that because mine was the opposite. It was the same but opposite. That's why I fell in love with my alcoholism, because I was desperate for a break. And no matter what happened, if I drank enough, it would force my body into what seemed like a break. It wasn't actually helping at all. It wasn't actually resting, but it felt like it in the moment. So that's kind of why I fell in love with that. So it was like what you mentioned, but the opposite,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, not too bad.
Clutter, Elon Musk, Cars on Mars, Burnout.
Yeah.
Cars on Mars doing burnouts. That's
No.
the title right there.
No, it's not. Don't get me started with Mars. You know, some of my beliefs are we don't have the same belief systems.
No, we don't.
But yeah, it's all right.
We share some beliefs, but we also don't. So
No.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Go play frisbee with the Earth.
I will.
Cosmic frisbee. That's
Yep.
a new game. I'm gonna make it up.
I'm gonna get a hat that says Ice Wall, like that dude that wears it in the Facebook reels. He talks about different conspiracies. He's got a hat that says Ice Wall.
Really?
Yeah, it's awesome. I want to get one.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you for coming to this episode, right?
Yeah.
Check us out on whiteknucklinit.com. We got the RS feed, White Knuckling It, RSS.whiteknucklinit. You can just Google White Knuckling It podcast. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Twitter, Facebook, all the good stuff. Thanks for being here.
Later.
Thanks for listening to the White Knuckling It podcast. For more details on the show and for more episodes, log on to whiteknucklingit.com.